On today's show, we will free this field of hundreds of pesky weeds that have spoiled the fine view with a competition that pits man against machine in the ultimate battle. Can our two contestants be victorious against Mother Nature herself? Can 5 gallons of spray save the day, or will the weeds win out? We'll give you the 411 to 86 those noxious weeds in the back 40. Ooh, that's a lot of numbers. I sure hope our contestants are good at math. We'll soon find out on this episode of Tough Grit.
Shannon, what are you doing out here?
Oh, Caleb, you're just in time for the game.
Game? What game? It just looks like you're out here weeding this huge field by hand.
Ah, well, to the untrained eye, yes. But this is a game Hank taught me. It's called Thistle. Who's got the thistle?
Okay, so how does this work?
Well, Hank and I divide up the field, and we take off running with a basket. And whoever can fill their basket full of thistles first runs back to the porch, pours it into a bucket, and screams, "Thistle, thistle, I've got the thistle!" And then you run back out and fill your basket again.
I think Hank might be just tricking you into weeding his field by hand again. He's over in the wood shop right now working on a project.
Oh, man. And I was this close to winning. Oh, there's got to be an easier way to do this.
Oh, there is. Today's episode is all about UTV mounted attachments that make weeding and fertilizing a lot easier.
Riding in a UTV and not pricking my fingers on thistles? Sign me up, mister.
Maybe you've got some areas that are too small to be done with a large tractor and sprayer, but too large to do by hand. Or maybe you've got some areas that are needing some weed control that require a lot of maneuvering without a lot of overspray.
Or maybe you just want to ditch those thistles and you need the right tools to do the job right.
When it comes to maintaining our land, we've all found ourselves in a big pile of tough grit. And that's where we come in. I'm Caleb Regan.
And I'm Shannon Riley.
Keeping your fields weed-free and fertilizing your land can be a big job, but we're here to help you get that job done right. And we'll give you some products and know-how you need.
And we've got a couple of contestants here, co-workers and friends, who are ready to lower the boom on each other in today's competition. Let's meet them.
Our first contestant is Doug Stahlbaumer. Doug has a do-it-myself attitude, which he's applied to his many jobs, such as being a mechanic, truck driver, carpenter, roofer, ditch digger, and electrician. He's also busy being a husband and father.
Doug lives a very rural lifestyle. In fact, his zip code is the number 4.
Contestant 2 is Kenny Aubert, who is originally from St. Mary's, Kansas. Kenny and his wife live on 270 acres, have 2 kids, and 1 on the way. He and Doug work together, and Kenny says, anything Doug can do, I can do better.
Kenny loves farm living so much, they played the theme to Green Acres at his wedding.
Gentlemen, welcome to Tough Grit.
And now the suspense will end. You'll finally find out what your project is. Wait for it. Your Tough Grit challenge is using a hand sprayer, a mounted hand sprayer, and a boom sprayer.
For their first challenge, the contestants will use a backpack handheld sprayer to spray a number of dandelion targets within a certain area, and then switch to a handheld sprayer on a UTV and hit more pesky thistle targets in a wider area.
Wow, this could be something you could do with your whole family. After all, the family that sprays together stays together.
The second challenge is all about using the boom sprayer on a larger scale to fertilize a large area. It will require some good driving skills on the UTVs.
You gotta be careful and not go too fast, or you'll shoot to spill. That sounds dangerous. Never fear, if the odds seem stacked against you, we've got a couple of experts here to coach you along. Let's meet our experts.
Our first expert is Hank Will, the farm-savvy editor-in-chief of Grit magazine.
When it comes to spraying weeds, Hank is all about absolute accuracy. In fact, he calls each shot of his sprayer a thistle missile.
And our Tractor Supply Company expert is Jeff Wood, the helpful store manager from Clio, Michigan.
Jeff is fast and furious when it comes to our project today. In fact, he's gotten tickets for being a speeder weeder.
These experts will give you great advice as you take on your challenges today. To be the champ and walk away with up to a $1,000 gift card to Tractor Supply Company, you must stick to our 3 criteria of accuracy, efficiency, and as always, safety.
And trust me, Caleb is a stickler for safety. I mean, he's not just another pretty face. Well, obviously.
For today's project, we'll be using a boom sprayer with a handgun sprayer attachment, a backpack style sprayer, and a UTV mounted boom sprayer.
I know our contestants can't wait to get at those pesky weeds, but before we do, let's get some more detailed information from our experts, Hank and Jeff, before we reach for our handguns. Our handgun sprayers, that is.
Doug, if you're working on small weed infestations or you just got a couple of thistles or dandelions here or there, you can choose a spot sprayer, something like a backpack sprayer where you can actually aim the gun at it and pump. You'll send a stream onto the weed directly. If you've got a little bit more to do in that same vein, you can use a handgun attachment to a larger boom sprayer. This thing just lets you point at the weeds you want to get and you just spray and you go. If you've got a little bit more area to contend with, and you want to apply an even amount of herbicide or fertilizer, whatever it is, over the area, you can use a boom sprayer like this. In this case, we'd actually pump the material through the sprayer itself.
So can just anybody do this?
Good question. Some chemicals do require a state applicator's permit for use. I would suggest contacting your local ag extension office. They can properly tell you what chemicals you can and can't use, and they can also help identify some of those weeds that you may have in question. They will also help you determine through a soil sample how much fertilizer you can use in terms of the amount of nitrogen and phosphorus that's in your property.
Doug, most of these chemicals are supplied as a concentrate. You need to check out the label and find out what the correct amount of chemical is to water. In this particular case, we're looking at a liquid. Typically what you'd do is you'd open the tank on the sprayer, add a little bit of water, a measured amount, add the chemical, and then finish up with the rest of the water. What's really crucial is that you get it mixed. Most of these sprayers have a bypass system which allows the pump to just run water around inside, which should fully mix the chemicals up.
An even mix lets you know exactly how much you're spraying. You never want to mix too much product for the job that you're going to do. Generally, the information's right on the back here. It will always tell you how many gallons per acre you're going to need for that job.
You want to be sure to clean out the sprayer as soon as you're done, because if you leave the material in there, there's a good chance that it could gel or precipitate out and clog up your nozzles, corrode things if there's metal in there and whatnot.
So you don't want to have the residual left in there for the next time you spray something different, right?
That's absolutely right, because for example, if you were spraying herbicide today and then you were going to fertilize your lawn, there's a good chance that there'd be enough residual herbicide in there to perhaps kill things in the grass that you didn't want to have killed.
Kenny, once you're done using the sprayer, you're definitely going to want to use a neutralizer. And what that does is it takes all the residue chemicals out of the tank. So if you're spraying herbicide, and it'll allow you to spray fruit trees the next application without the fear of ruining those fruit trees. Something that this will also do is it'll condition the pump and help save the seals from corrosion, which in the long run, the few dollars you're going to use in neutralizing the tank and the few minutes you're going to take will save you a lot of money in the future of repairs or replacement on this sprayer.
And now it's time to start our first challenge. Our contestants today are going to be using two different types of hand sprayers. One is a backpack style tank, the other is a UTV with a mounted boom.
Each contestant will have several yellow target dandelions that they'll hit with the backpack sprayers first. Then they'll use the sprayers on the UTVs to attack their purple thistle targets.
Our sprayers today are loaded with a non-toxic dye to represent the chemical weed killer. This way we'll be able to easily see where they've sprayed.
Whichever contestant accurately covers all their targets first will win. Don't neglect any of your targets. Also keep safety in mind, because we'll add 30 seconds for any unsafe tactics or failing to buckle up in the UTVs. Good luck to you both.
Ready, set, go!
Got it, go, 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 go. Here, that's good, that's good, that's good.
Got one over there.
Get this one too while you're here. All right.
Come on, we're ahead of them a little bit.
And he's soaking those things down, nice.
Way too thorough, way too thorough.
Good job, Kenny, come on.
Nice even coverage. That's very good. Very good. Oh, this is close, close, close.
Just two more.
Kenny's got a slight lead. Kenny's got his backpack sprayer off.
Get out of the backpack. Get out of the backpack.
Doug's got his backpack sprayer off.
Okay, buckle up. Are you buckled? Nope.
Seatbelt.
It's time for a break, but when we come back, we'll find out which one of our contestants can make their squirt hurt and which one of their sprays will just leave the weeds in a daze. Right here on Tough Grit.
When it comes to applying chemicals of any kind around your place, it's not only important to spend some time reading the label, it's also important to understand what it means. The label is the law, and if you handle, store, or apply chemicals in ways that are not designated on the label, then you are technically an outlaw. Plenty of folks downplay the label, in part because it can be complicated, and in part because our society has grown used to the better living through chemistry concept. As a former certified pesticide applicator in more than one state, I really want to encourage you to take every precaution with household chemicals that you can. Whether you are spraying the yard for weeds, or applying synthetic fertilizers to your back 40, or spraying the bugs under the kitchen sink, the information contained in those products' labels is there to help keep you, your family, your pets, and the environment safe from harm. The information contained in the label also holds the key to targeting the specific pests you are trying to knock back, and not the plants and insects that you wish to promote. There's no doubt that we experience certain conveniences with the help of chemicals. Do your homework ahead of time, and you'll avoid poisoning yourself and the environment.
We're back with our spraying challenge. Doug and Kenny are battling it out, targeting those troublesome dandelions and thistles in a thistle thrashing mission. You didn't think I'd get through that, did you?
I am impressed. Each contestant is making their way through their assigned areas, making sure not to miss any of our dandelion and thistle targets.
Let's see who's in the weed kill lead, ready to capture the first $500 gift card from Tractor Supply Company.
Over here. That's one. That's two. Turn back.
At this point, it's whoever can find their thistles first. They got 10 to find.
That's three. Come back in the middle.
It's like an Easter egg hunt, but with chemicals. Boy, does that take me back to my childhood.
Go ahead, get 5. Get 6. Get that one right over here in the middle. It's 9 and the 10's back this way. Right here in the middle.
Where else we gotta go?
That's it.
Here comes Kenny across the finish line.
All right, now that was a good race.
Good job, guys.
Come on up here, gentlemen. Great job. Great competition. That was fun. Well, I think we had a great challenge there, but I think we have a winner. Caleb?
Good job by both teams. Each of you accurately covered all 30 of your targets. Kenny, you just did it about 5 seconds quicker. You just won our first challenge. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kenny. What do you owe your victory to?
My excellent spotter on the thistles.
All right. Well, Doug, you didn't win, but you're going to come back and win the next one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And don't you go away, because when we come back to Tough Grit, we're going to have a UTV boom sprayer challenge that's so exciting, they may have to hose me down. Woohoo! When we come back. Welcome back to Tough Grit. We're gearing up for our second challenge.
That's right. And let's hear from our experts, Hank and Jeff, who are going to give us the lowdown on how to operate our boom sprayers.
Kenny, today we're going to learn about the boom sprayer we'll be using. Folks have many questions on this. Boom sprayers are used for many different things, especially fertilization. It's good for lawns, good for gardens, and even pastures. Using a boom sprayer is much more efficient than using a granular fertilizer. Which is going to save you time and money, and when properly calibrated will give you a more even and healthier lawn.
Doug, one of the nice things about the boom sprayer is that you can fold the booms up when you're not using them, and it narrows up the whole unit to be about as wide as your utility vehicle. You can get through gates really easily.
So it makes it for simple storage, yet it's still maneuverable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do have a question. How do I know how much is getting on the ground as far as what I am spraying?
That's a really good question. You know, every sprayer really needs to be calibrated. Essentially what you need to do is figure out what the flow rate is. You can do that with measuring devices, pumping water through the system. And then you'll be able to calculate gallons per minute, and then you just adjust your ground speed to adapt.
So what's the best way to avoid drift?
There's a couple different ways to avoid drift. First, you want to drive at a relatively slow speed with the tips pretty low to the ground so that you get even coverage. Secondly, you want to avoid wind whenever possible. Wind will cause drift, and you could have chemical end up on your neighbor's lawn, or worse, flowers, which is something you really want to avoid.
Doug, ideally you want to spray on a calm day. If it's a little bit windy on that day, maybe you could spray early in the morning or later in the evening when the wind is actually calmer. And whatever you do, you want to be sure that you read the label carefully so that you don't let your animals or your children back into the space before it's safe to do so.
And now it's time for challenge number 2, the boom sprayers. The contestants will use the boom sprayers to cover a wider area, about half an acre. They can use as many passes as they need to get the job done right.
The tanks are again filled with dye and water, which for this challenge represents liquid organic fertilizer. Each contestant must thoroughly and completely cover their patch of ground. We want no overlaps and no missed spots, which is going to be kind of tough on a windy day like today, battling that drift. In the event that coverage is equal, time will be the tiebreaker. Good luck, gentlemen. Ready, set, go!
Get that boom down, get that boom down. Good job, good job, good job. All right.
Seatbelts. Remember to buckle up.
Doug's battling that seatbelt. Both of them fighting those seatbelts.
Okay, get the sprayer on, yeah. Let's go. Let's try to do a perimeter first, yeah? Yeah, it's spraying. So, yeah.
There you go, they're on, go.
And Team Grit and Doug are off.
Yeah, not too fast. Oh yeah, let's do it. It looks looking good.
Benny Gopher sticks his head up out of the ground today. He's going to turn into a Smurf.
Maybe a little bit slower.
Oh, Hank is giving Doug a real good education on the proper use of spraying. You could say that Doug is being sprayed and tutored.
All right, make that turn a little, there you go.
Yeah, I think we're got to go slower if we're not even going to see the dye. Yeah, slow down, slow down.
That's about the right speed right there. Doing good. I'll let you know when you need to start turning.
Oh, there's our. Oh no, that's us. Yeah, you're right. You're in good shape.
All right, start making your turn here.
The key to this challenge is accuracy.
There you go.
Making sure to be thorough, but they should still move fast. If they forget to buckle up or operate unsafely, we'll flag them with a 30-second penalty.
Ouch! Caleb's penalties could result in some forgetful farmer failing at field fertilizing. Don't go away. Our fantastic finale is not far away on Tough Grit.
Taking good care of your land doesn't have to be a chore. A weed and feed like this will boost your turf while knocking back noxious weeds. Using a UTV mounted boom sprayer, you can quickly and efficiently treat large areas of pasture or lawn in one go without the hassle of a hand pumped backpack sprayer. The boom sprayer can also be used to dish out fertilizers and pesticides as necessary. All you have to do is measure out what you need in the tank and enjoy driving across your property. But that isn't all the boom sprayer is good for. It is also a great way to apply de-icer in your driveway or lane during those cold winter months. You can use your boom sprayer to do all sorts of different things. Just remember to clean it out properly after each session. Neutralizers like this product can help deal with leftover chemicals, making the rinse easier and less toxic, and helping you protect your equipment, your land, and your health.
Our contestants are racing through their patch of field to see who can most thoroughly cover their area with simulated fertilizer.
And up for grabs is another $500 gift card from Tractor Supply Company and the title of Boom Master.
You can actually see that blue dye a little bit better into the dirt rather than on the weeds, so we're looking pretty good so far. There you go. You can just barely see if you follow your tracks where you've been the last time. I think that'll help you out a little bit more, given the fact that we're getting a little bit more drift.
This blue dye isn't really showing up on the grass, so the experts, as they've coached their team, they've said that they got to more or less follow the tire marks.
I think you're doing all right on your corners. All right, you need to turn again. There we go.
You're gonna take one more back?
I don't know, we've already hit that.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I think we could.
already hit that one.
Yep. I think you can just whip to the end there and just floorboard it to the exit.
I think Hank is calling it good. He's moving up for the finale.
good, that's good. Yay!
Team Grit covered it adequately, and they were finished first.
Well, Caleb and I have been conferring, and Caleb, I think we have a winner.
Yeah, we do. Team Grit, you finished a little bit quicker, mainly because of the amount of overspray. If you look at your tire tracks, they're really narrow, really on top of each other. Doug, you just won the second challenge, won yourself a $500 gift card to Tractor Supply.
Congratulations, Doug. What are you going to get with your winnings?
Some personal items and some items for around the farm.
Spray! That's stupendous. Oh, look, I can spray too.
And Kenny, you won our first challenge. You also won a $500 gift card to Tractor Supply. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And if you're sitting at home right now saying, hey, I could do that, well, don't wait. Participate. Here's how you can be a contestant on Tough Grit.
To sign up, go to toughgrit.com and click on the I Can Do That button, or look for the advertisement in Grit Magazine. Don't wait, sign up today. So now you know almost everything you need to know about using sprayers to maintain your property. If you'd like to learn more, visit toughgrit.com. I'm glad you could join us today. I look forward to the next time.
Hey, Caleb.
Hey there, Shannon, what's all this stuff?
We're playing a new game with Hank. It's how fast can you clean out the garage? See, I clean out his garage, and he times me. And then he takes me up to his attic, and I clean that out, and I see if I can beat that time. And he fooled me again, didn't he? I have half a mind not to play Who Can Wash Hank's Truck. I'm Shannon Riley.
And I'm Caleb Regan.
And when you see us coming, you know you're in
Tough Grit.